This is Manchester Voices, a podcast run by students at the University of Manchester.
Hello everybody, this is Dorsa. I study biotechnology. I just finished my second year and today I am joined by...
Hi everyone, it's Khadijat. I study management marketing and I am in my final year. Well, I'm basically done now.
Oh wow, and...
Hi, I'm Iqra. I also study speech and language therapy and same, like I've literally just finished up now.
Okay, so I'm with graduates today. Well, this episode of Manchester Voices, we are focusing on affording university. But first, let's get into our fun facts about Manchester. Khadija, would you like to go first?
Okay, so the Manchester Bee, what does it represent? We know Manchester's pretty famous for the bee. We see it around a lot on campus as well. So the Manchester Bee represents the hard-working nature of Mancunians. So yeah, it's just a hive of activity, and that's why the bee is representative of the city.
I wish all cities had mascots. That's really cool.
Yes, yeah. I think most of them kind of do, but you know, Manchester's just has it plastered everywhere to remind everyone. So
I quite like it. The merch is really nice. I'm a big fan of bees. I think they're really cool. So, do you have a fun
Bees are
fact?
cute. So my fun fact, a bit football related, is that Manchester is home to two football teams that are both treble winners, and objectively, Manchester City is the better team. That's purely objective.
You
and
might
that is a
make some
fact.
people angry today.
That's a fact. I just said the fact.
I mean,
Okay.
Manchester United got it first, and they were the first team in Manchester. So
Which is the one that just
United.
won?
Man City.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Which
they
one's red?
did do pretty good. Man U.
Okay, I support that one. I like the color red.
Oh, I'm leaving the podcast.
You're wearing red.
This is a work shirt. This doesn't
Okay.
count. I don't choose this uniform.
Well, my fun fact is that the first intercity railway was developed between Manchester and Liverpool. So that's really cool. Great for the
On
travels.
transport. You save money on transport.
Yeah, saving money. Great. Relates back to our topic for today.
Segway.
Yeah.
We're not going to be really talking about like the tuition fees, but so much as like living day to day. Like, what do you guys think is the biggest expense?
I think it definitely depends on your lifestyle for sure.
Okay.
So I think the average expense is food, obviously, and depends on if you can cook or if you can't cook or if you're lazy to cook. In my case, I can cook. I'm just lazy to cook. So
Same.
Uber Eats sees me a lot, and that means that university got pretty expensive. But otherwise, you know, Lidl is pretty close to me, and I save a lot from meal prepping and batch cooking.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think throughout the semester when I meal prep and I have time to like actually go out and do like a full week's shop, I save a lot of money. But
Definitely.
towards like exam seasons and when I'm like going out a lot, I'm a big loyal customer of Deliveroo.
I think for me, I guess because I live at home, I never moved out for university, but then I feel like it's more expensive for us in the sense that like every time all me and my friends are on campus, most of them have come from really far. So it's like, let's make the most out of the day. Like, let's go out and then
Yeah.
like eat food and then go and get dessert. And then all of a sudden you've spent like £70 in one day and you're only
Yeah.
meant to be here for like an hour. So that for me is massive.
Same. I think like when you go out, you're like, oh, I'm out with my friends. I should just like treat myself. Like we're all getting food, we're all getting brunch, we're all getting
Yeah.
coffee. And then it's like, oof, my bank account's going to feel that one.
Yeah.
Another thing that I spend a lot on is just like hygiene,
Okay.
which
yeah.
I didn't realize is such a big expense because like back home, of course, my parents would pay for that. But I go through like body washes like lightning and like soap. Like soap runs out. I'm like, oh, I have to buy another. Soap is not infinite. Okay. I have to buy more. And laundry. Laundry is so expensive.
Oh my gosh. I'll be so honest. I'm a cheapskate. Like TLC, did they not have like a show where it's like extreme
Yeah.
cheap families or something like that?
The extreme
Like
cheapskates.
I would be probably featured on there because like, when I came to uni, I said, okay. So I have some whites to wash, but majority of them are colours. But the colours aren't too dark, so I'm just gonna wash them all in one go and see how we go from there. I'm not doing several washes because I also use the dryer. So
Yeah.
like the circuit laundry dryer, because I don't want to just hang things in my room. So I'm paying for that as well. I was like, I don't want it to all accumulate to one large cost for 1 week.
Yeah, exactly. And you have to like pile up laundry. You can't just do laundry whenever you want. Like, oh, it's been 4 days, but like this thing that I wear every day has gone very dirty. I have to wait until like I've accumulated enough clothes to justify the cost of laundry. Yeah, that's a challenge for me.
I really felt that. I felt for my degree, I just got back from living in Liverpool, so I was there for 3 months. I stayed in student accommodation, and like the amount of money I spent, like rocketed up. I didn't realize, like the same with, like you said, with like laundry and stuff. I'd never considered that. Like when I moved out of my house, I literally took everything. Like I took my mum's like toothpaste, toilet roll, but then it ran out, and I was like, why is it running out? It shouldn't be doing that. So I spent so much more.
Tissues as well. Tissues are
I was
so
gonna
expensive.
say tissues.
Yeah, definitely.
Took for granted how easy it was, just like having everything appear before me, not questioning, oh, how much was this? How much was that?
It's real insight into adulting when you have to start buying things yourself. Also, there's transport costs as well.
Yeah.
Because as a student, you're not just like going to a couple places, you're going to campus a lot.
Yeah.
And that starts to cost money. I mean, first year, second year, I walked to campus. It was 15-20 minutes walk. But then because I had to go to basketball so often, which was in Fallowfield, then I got a student card. Is that the stagecoach card? Yeah, stagecoach annual pass. And I feel like that saved me a lot of money in the end. Because when I added everything up, like I got really geeky and got a calculator and thought about how much I'd be spending every single week. You know, and then I added it up, multiplied it by X. And then I was like, and then I compared it to how much I'd spend if I didn't have the card. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm saving money with the card.
Yeah, I've done the math as well. Like at first I didn't buy into the, oh, you save more than 50% propaganda. But then I realized, oh no, you do actually spend more than 50%. Like it would have been like £700 of like a year's travel for me if like I was to go to uni and back. And I realized I'll just be saving so much money if I buy the bus pass. So I did. And I do highly recommend it.
Yeah. I feel like I'm pretty lucky in the sense that I drive, but then it's like when you drive, the costs are so sudden. Like it's not a spaced out expense. It's like you pay at once for like your petrol for like the next month, and then you buy the car. So you have to be able to deal with like the hit of that. But then I guess once you've dealt with it, it does make things a lot easier.
How do you guys manage your budget? Like, do you have any special like tactics or something you do at the beginning of the month?
Not more special than the average person, I'd say. Like I kind of hinted at it already with the, you know, adding up how much I think I'm going to spend per week and then multiplying it by every day of the month or something like that. But with my groceries, I figured that with the meal plan I have, I know how much of each ingredient I need and how much each of those things will cost. So I'm like, okay, so I'm going to spend about £20 for a week. That should make food for X amount. So then I just know that I should put like £100 in my account. So I have 3 separate cards. Yeah. And I have one specifically for food, one for like my personal stuff. So a lot of the things that I do in work gets paid into that account. Yeah. So that's my like disposable income, if you want to say. And then I have one where I just don't touch that money because that's like maintenance loan, student finance money, and just like money I'm definitely gonna need. So yeah, that's how I kind of like balance things and budget. I have my food money because I'm not gonna mess with my food, and then I have my disposable income card, and then I have the card I'm not touching.
That's actually what I do as well. Like I have 2 separate accounts. Like account A is just like where my parents send me money, and I have like this pool of money, and then account B is where like I'll have like my weekly money or like my monthly money, and then I'll just like, okay, I can't use more than this week.
I think I'm not as like strategic about it. Like I tried to be. I feel like in first year it was crazy. I had like this thing, like a Word document I made I called it my financial plan. And every time I spent money, I would write it and then add it up and then see how much I spent in a month. But because it was like lockdown in my first year, I was not spending money because I was locked in my house. I was like, this is amazing. I'm going to live like this forever. And then when like lockdown lifted and I was going out, like I went from spending like, I think one month I spent £65, which I was so proud of. And then it just shot up to like 300. And I was like, I'm never writing writing this down again. Like, this is so embarrassing. I didn't want to look at it. So, I mean, I don't really have like a strategy or anything. I guess it's just more like looking in the context of like your lifestyle as well as like what you earn and making it realistic to yourself when you're trying to budget. Like, you know, don't compare to people that are like going out every day because they might have like a lot more disposable income than you do. So instead of comparing it, just be realistic with what you have and I guess work with that. Like sort of what you do in the sense, like what you both do, like knowing how much you earn, like what's disposable, what you need, and just working on that.
Do you guys have any money saving hacks?
Like soap, right? If I have washing up soap, right, you know, like the fairy liquid, I don't use the entire thing at once. I like have a separate bottle and then I put water into it, and it still cleans. It still cleans. So I spend less money on washing up soap.
It's the way I'd always do that, but I would never admit to it.
Yeah, listen, shameless.
Wait, for detergent? Like washing detergent?
Like, washing up liquid, like
wash
dishes,
up your dishes and stuff.
like your plates.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Rather than using like the whole like liquid and then it just runs out, I'm gonna separate it, add a little bit of water to the other one, and shake it up. There we go.
I mean, if it works, it
Boom, bam.
works.
Yeah,
It
it
does
still
work,
works because at the end of the day, you're working with water anyways. You know, the tap has water.
So true.
And then the other thing, this is not really money saving. This is just how Khadija is very cheap. But also I have like, you know, what's it called? Not toilet, kitchen roll.
Yeah.
So I have really large sheets of kitchen roll, and I just start ripping it in half because I don't know why people just take a whole big sheet of kitchen
They
roll.
are massive.
And then wipe the littlest thing and throw it in the bin. I'm like, bro, you still had a lot of money there.
That's like 10p right there.
Exactly. But yeah, that's not necessarily a money saving hack. That's just how I like stock up on stuff because I don't really run out of stuff that often. So yeah.
I think related to the kitchen roll, I'm sure like everybody does this, but I did not do this until a while ago. Instead of like buying tissue boxes, I just get like toilet paper rolls or like kitchen rolls to use as tissues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know people can do that.
Oh.
I was out there buying like 2-pound tissue boxes, wasting money. But I'm glad I was like my eyes were opened to this beautiful money saving hack.
Yeah. I think for me, like less in terms of money saving for me, because I live at home, it comes from like learning to say no. I feel like like have that like discipline because you know, there's always people that are like, oh, just to come out, like let's do this, let's do that, let's just spend money here. And it's like missing like one night out or one like meal. It's not the end of the world, but it can feel like it, you know, when you see people like posting snaps and it's like, oh my God, I'm not there. Like they're all making like core memories and I'm just totally missed out on this. But it's like, it's really not that deep. Like just have a bit more discipline and be able to say no. And again, like I said before, like don't compare lifestyles, like work within your own. Like if you can afford to go out every single day, then that's fine and you do that, great. But if you can't, which pretty much everyone at university can't, like just don't be afraid to say no and work with what you have.
Yeah, there's just also just a lot of free or affordable things to do in Manchester for students. Like there's free museums that you can walk into. You know, there's just loads of things you can do. It doesn't always have to be, you know, clubbing or being at the pub all the time. You can do other things to chill out with your friends. Because I think if you're with the right group of people, you can have fun doing anything.
100%.
It's just conversation and this and that. Like it's like the people that say, you know, I'm easily bored. You're only easily bored if you're not interesting. Like you can find something to do, definitely. You know. So yeah, definitely that. Like there's many other things you can do to save money. Also, student discounts. There's a lot of whilst you're at uni, literally exploit student discounts.
100%.
You know, I keep forgetting that I have access to student discounts. I have uni days, I have student beans, but someone also advised me that you can walk into any shop and just ask, shamelessly ask, do you offer student discounts? Any shop,
I
guys,
do that.
literally.
Yeah.
And they probably do. I always forget to do that. One day I was at River Island and the girl was like, oh, are you a student? I was like, yeah. And she was like, yeah, there's a student discount. I was like, God bless you. Like, I was really about to pay a lot. Like, yeah. So student discounts are a big way of saving money as well.
But I just learned that Boots do student discount and I was so upset. I've been like, so I've had student discount access since college. So like I'm on my 5th year of student discount and I've spent like so much money on like skincare, makeup at Boots. And like, I just randomly asked, I had like an urge to ask, I was like, because everywhere else does student discounts. So I was like, don't you do student discount? And she was like, yeah, of course we do. and like my heart dropped. I was like, if I could calculate the amount I've spent in boots, and like, oh, that was awful. But yeah, exploit student discount and renew it just before you graduate, so you get like an extra year out of it.
Yeah.
Also, like loyalty cards for grocery stores. I'm not a fan of the little one because I'm guessing like unless you really go to a lot and shop for a big family, you're not gonna make much use of it. But Co-op and Tesco have really nice like loyalty apps. Co-op, I get a lot of offers and save like a good £1 or £2 on my shops.
Yeah.
Quite like that.
Tesco's good as well, especially for meal deals. I think with the card you get like a discount on it. And meal deals are already like extortionately expensive right now. Like, they do not need to be that expensive.
Do you guys have a part-time job? And how easy are part-time jobs to find?
So I do have a part-time job. I work... Oh, I feel like I'm getting like into my work tone now. Like, I work for the library student team at the University of Manchester. So I'm based in Ali G, and in terms of what I do, it's really varied. So like I help out with the workshops on campus. If you don't know about the workshops, you should check them out because they're really like good for like supporting your academic work, but also like mental health. So I help out with them. But I also do like, I guess my niche is like social media type stuff. Like I really love doing like TikToks and Instagram videos. I'm really trying to push for our own TikTok page, but it's a bit unsuccessful, but I'm trying. I'm doing my best. So yeah, I work there. In terms of how easy, I think I had to go through a lot of rejection to find this job. Like this job was honestly just like it was like a blessing that popped up out of nowhere. Like I was on Indeed like for so long, and I just got so used to receiving those like generic rejection letters like, unfortunately we are not proceeding with your application, and then no justification why. And it was so frustrating. But I feel like it's so difficult to find a good job at uni as well, because you know you're not working like in terms of hours, you can only commit to so much, and it's difficult. But in terms of like me, I'm really, really privileged with the job I have. Like it's really flexible, and because it's on campus, like it works around, like it did work around my degree, it worked around my study time. Like I would do a shift and then just study because I was in the building anyway. But yeah, I guess I'm pretty lucky in that sense.
That sounds like a nice job.
It's
I like
really
being
good.
around books, so I think a library job would be really fun.
It's amazing, yeah. I mean, I'm not in the library that much at all, but like it's nice to just say that, like, yeah, like I'm on the library team. People just think I'm a librarian, and I'm like, yeah,
I was gonna
that's
say
fine.
librarian.
You're a qualified librarian.
Yeah,
Totally went to get the degree.
So I have a couple, not to sound like that person, but yeah. And to be honest, all my jobs are really based on me being a student. So that really works with my schedule. And I feel like with the jobs, it's all with the jobs that I was looking for, it was important for me to have some level of autonomy and flexibility. So kind of like I choose my hours, but I have deadlines, but I still kind of choose my hours. And, you know, it's something that I genuinely want to do. So I think I'm fortunate in that sense. So number one, I'm a student content creator. Head over to TikTok, you might see me.
Shout out.
Or any of my content. But yeah, and also like this podcast thing involves student content creation. And then I'm also a student ambassador for the Alliance Manchester Business School. So I do a lot of open days, panels, stuff like that. So head over to Open Day, you might see me. Not anymore, I'm basically done now. But yeah, and then because I'm a student ambassador, I was also a uni buddy, which was like it's a like student to student recruitment, customer service kind of. So you go on the website, you chat to me, ask any questions that you have, and you know I just give you like big sister advice, stuff like that. So yeah, and then I also am a part-time teacher or tutor. So yeah, English tutor for year 5 and 6 kids, and it's for students in like lower income backgrounds. So you know that's really rewarding as well, that I could help, because I have been in a similar situation. So I think it's great that I'm able to provide that help. You know, I found the student like ambassador stuff, student content creation stuff from, you know, university emails, asking around. And then I know that the university also has job shop. There's career services as well in the university that they can send you job vacancy alerts as well. So it's not super difficult. And then you could do Indeed, you can do Glassdoor, you can do LinkedIn, you can find jobs that way. And you can also walk into shops. Like you can walk into your favorite coffee shop, you can walk into your favorite retail store and ask, are you guys hiring? I'm a student, blah, blah, blah. Loads of people are looking for students, especially on a student, like a big student campus city like Manchester. they know students are about. So
it's good to be choosy. Obviously, not everyone can be choosy, which I understand. But if you can be choosy, like, you know, have a job that you like. Like, your studies are already so like demanding as it is, and I couldn't imagine like doing my lectures, doing like my assignments, and then going to a job I hate. Like that would be insane. So yeah, definitely be choosy with it and try and find something perhaps like related to your degree if you can, like, you know, keep it related to what you want to do, get some experience in that field, because also you might realize it's not the field for you.
Exactly.
That's so, and you have to, like, it's better to go through that before you're like fully qualified and throwing yourself in. Like, you know, learn the aspects of what you like and what you don't, and then work with that. And I guess by relate, it doesn't have to be directly related. So like, I do speech and language therapy, but I loved like working with like a bilingual minority population. So now at my job, with the university, I'm meeting people from like all different backgrounds, and like I get to work with school children that come in on like school trips, which is so funny because I was the school like child at one point. Yeah, I came to this university in like year 9 or 10, and I remember just thinking like, oh my god, everyone's so tall and big and scary, and now it's like, now I'm the tall, big, scary person.
That's so crazy to think about.
It is,
every time
honestly.
like children walk around, I'm like, I was you.
Yeah.
I was your size. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm getting experience indirectly, because you get experience no matter what part-time job you do. So just try and like make it relate and like do the things that like benefit you in terms of your own career as well. I guess.
Okay, so more like transferable skills.
I was gonna say that.
Okay.
Transferable skills, definitely transferable skills.
Well, thank you for listening, and thank you so much to Khadijat and Iqra for joining me. So to close episode 7, we have a news story. The University of Manchester has been named top in both the UK and Europe, and second in the world for meaningful contributions towards the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals in the 2023 The University Impact Rankings. The ranking assesses their commitment to sustainability across 4 broad areas: research, stewardship, outreach, and teaching.
Big flex.
Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
If you've got a topic you want us to discuss, drop us a message on Instagram at officialuom and mention Manchester Voices. Our jingle was created by student Maisie Illul.